Monday Night Football, we got the Dolphins, we've got the Rams. Andy and Andrew from WagerTalk, we're going to break down for you. If you guys could hit the like button and leave us a comment, tell us your best bet for this game. If you don't have a hot take on this game, code word for today, Andrew, wave. Hello, wave, WAVE, ride the wave. Just type that in the comments section. It helps us out, boosts the algorithm. It helps us rank a little bit higher. So we're just going to be completely honest, guys. We do not have a whole lot for this game. Tyreek Hill is literally a game time decision, which the ripple effect over every prop, is felt. So this is going to be a very quick video. Andrew and I are just going to give you some leans and maybe a couple plays that we really like. This is not going to be as long as our normal show. So buck. So Andrew, welcome. Let's just start with passing props. Any trends that you like in this game?
Yeah, Eddie, it's one of those things, man, where you and I, we want to do the show together, but there's just not a ton that sticks out to us in this one. And as you mentioned, both teams kind of looking at some, one guy's performance or one guy's health can impact the entire lines and how everything look. As far as the passing props are concerned, I want to look at Stafford under on his passing attempts. You see this number, I think it's a little bit higher than it needs to be here with 34 and a half. And I understand they can be a pass happy team, but if that's the case, what? And Andy, I'm not trying to get off track. You asked me about passing, but why are the rushing attempts so high for the running backs for this Rams team? And that's kind of the thing that correlates to me. We've seen in 4 straight games, Williams has gone over his rushing attempts number. We've seen this team running the ball as much as they can. And look at the arm he has. I mean, I think he's got to be top 5 in the league in average distance for throw. I mean, they are constantly getting drives shortened by a big highlight play. And if that's the case, they're not going to need 35 passing attempts. They're going to need probably to run the ball a ton. And I would probably look towards going with the trend. So under 34 and a half for him. And if I was to look at something, and this isn't an official play for me, I will say, but I'm kind of tempted by the number here that I'm seeing for Tua on his interceptions. Like I said, I used to be scared of those. I didn't used to like those, Andy, but he has been throwing some picks. And again, it just seems to me that since he's been back, he's had no hesitancy to air the ball out whatsoever. And if I were to look at some kind of completions or any type of like good props or bet on props for Tua, it would be the completion prop because of his accuracy, because they're kind of setting him up for success. And if Hill is not in or not 100% healthy, takes away the deep threat. And when you take away the deep threat, Andy, what does that mean? It increases the volume for guys coming over the top, for guys with running slants that got a lot shorter passes. So his number being 21 and a half with the completions, the minus 120 with the interception. But the favorite one for me is the under for Matthew Stafford on his passing attempts.
The only I'm kind of lockstep with you a little bit. The only thing I was looking at was Stafford over his passing yards, just because I think they can get big chunks. The Puka back, I'm not playing it. There's only one play I really, really, truly like. So, all right, let's move to rushing props. Do you like any of these guys?
And the funny thing is, Andy, you and I could definitely both hit together with those. That's the best part, is that we could both hit.
It's like 100%. 30 yards to Cup, 40 yards to Puka, and all of a sudden they gain 70 yards on 2 passes. So,
yeah,
I get it.
It's definitely possible. So yeah, I mean, like I mentioned, so listen to this. This one's kind of interesting. 4 straight games, Williams has gone over his rushing attempts number. 7 straight home games, he's gone over 20 and a half rushing attempts as well. I mean, the numbers are there, so that's kind of a trend bet a little bit there. Mostert has been getting involved a little bit, over 8.5 for him with his rushing attempts, 4 straight games. And like I said, if I think that Stafford's going to be not really, not like working his way down the field, if I think there's going to be a lot more, like you said, just those big plays, then it probably is going to have to be some running. So I think that we'll look towards Kyren Williams with just the attempts. I'm not saying he can't go over his rushing yards, but that's kind of the number I've locked in on. And again, if they go up, if they're winning this game, they're gonna run the ball out. They're gonna close out the half. They're gonna close out the game with the running. And again, you don't have to worry about how many yards are accumulated in those runs. You're just worrying about the act of the run itself. So I would look towards that. And part of me is kind of tempted by that plus 165, I will say, on Matthew Stafford under on his. Andy, I know you've looked at those quarterback rushing props, a half yard.
Kirk Cousins, baby.
Jeez. Yeah, Kirk Cousins, man. What was it? The attempts and the yards, right?
Yeah, he
But
went under again yesterday. Went under again. Did it again. Oops, he did it
awesome.
again.
But do you agree? Like, every Monday it feels like I'm coming on here with you, and there's one or two plays that are probably going to be popular bets. And I have a feeling that Kyron Williams, in some way, shape, or form, will be a popular bet, just like he usually is.
Yeah.
But based on the numbers that I've looked at and kind of just even the matchup stuff here, I think that, you look at different matchups that he's gone against: Seattle, Minnesota, Vegas, Green Bay. I mean, some of these matchups where he has gone over the attempts number, he actually hasn't gone over his rushing yards. I'm not going to lie. Of course, a lot of the times it is correlated, but it's been a lot of different types of teams he's been able to do this. The consistency level's been there. What about Devon A-Chain? I mean, do you think that there's kind of like lost value now on him after the success he had early, how the numbers are so much higher than Raheem? I kind of want to stay away from him or bet unders, just because I believe there is a little bit more of a split there than the projections state that there really is between him and Mostert.
See, this is where the Tyreek Hill thing comes into play. If Hill plays, I think it's just going to affect everybody else, and I just don't want to fire off a play. And the fact is, I know the Dolphins, so 3-point game against Buffalo, 1-point loss against Arizona, 6-point loss against Indianapolis. So it's like they're keeping these games close. But the fact is they've won 2 games, one to Jacksonville. That win doesn't look great now, and the other against New England. So like what's the what are we actually like betting
Yeah.
on this team to do good? They've put up some points, but their defense is terrible. If I'm looking at A-Chain on it might be receiving, but without Tyreek Hill, I just think it changes everything. And I, I mean, I'll just they do have Tyreek Hill props out, which is a good sign for him playing. But I just can't get there with A-Chain or any of these Dolphin players. So yeah, it's a complete pass for me. I mean, if Tyreek Hill's out and the Rams get up, yeah, Kyron's going to blast through his attempts and his rushing. So does Tyreek make that big of a difference in a game? Yeah, I think it changes the Miami offense on completely. So yeah, I don't know. Get anything else with rushing?
Look, I mean, they're teaching Tua to slide, Andy, but at the same time, do they even want him going at all? I'm not going to bet this at all, but the fact that it's 5.5, I hate to say it, but it's kind of intriguing to look towards the over there. But I'm not going to bet that. But the fact that it's 5.5, the odds are moving while we're talking.
Yeah,
right here, back and forth.
well, I was going to tell you that I knew that these odds on Matthew Stafford were reversed because I happen to know that Matthew Stafford has never gone over half a yard this year. I was like, those odds are wrong. So if you bet
Yeah,
it, your bet was going to be voided
okay.
anyway. So this makes a lot more sense. The minus
Yeah.
235. And by the way, it's still a parlay piece because he's yet to go over. He has what negative. Here, let me look it up. He's like Kirk Cut. Yeah, 7 rushes for -7 yards. His rush attempts are kneel downs. He doesn't take off and run. So.
But did you hear the crowd cheering when Tua slid? Like it's
Yes.
almost like it was a happy but also like half sarcastic. Like, yeah,
know.
he knows how to do that now. Like it's like scary that they're like, please, like everyone's heart drops for a second
Yeah.
when he starts running the ball. But 5.5, that's not many yards.
No,
Still a
it's
young
not.
guy. He's still a young quarterback.
Big asterisk with young quarterback there. So let's take a receiving. I'll just tell you my favorite play for this game is going to be Raheem Mostert over 7.5 receiving yards. Last week, 2 for 32. Before that, 1 for 11. There was a game against the Colts where he didn't have any catches, but before that, 2 for 18 and 2 for 10. So this is one of those numbers where he gets one catch and goes over. Like the last 2 games, he's had a long of 17 and 11. It's just one of those screen passes type of things that work. And when you're looking at looking at the Cardinals, they give up 38.6 yards per game to receiving to running back. So A-Chain over 46.5 is a little bit too high. Mostert, I think I can just get there with 1. And if Hill is out or something, I think this one, I love this one to cash because they're going to need all hands on deck to catch the ball. So you like anything receiving?
I'm going to go with Demarcus Robinson over on his number. It's actually climbed up. When I saw it last night, it was at like 27.5. So seeing 30.5 now on your screen. Of course, depending on where you are, the books are a little bit different here. But I think that his target number is going to go up. And I think the plays are going to run. I do think that, with this matchup in particular, like I said, we do expect there to be kind of more chunk plays and bigger plays, but I think he will be the guy that's kind of the over the middle guy, the kind of the short pass kind of guy. And when I look at some of his numbers here, and he's coming off a 9 target performance, but I think with this number of 30.5, we're only going to need 3 receptions, I would argue. He is catching like 8 to 10 yard receptions. And for me, when I look at kind of the games that he's played well against, it's been kind of in similar matchups like this, these big opponents, the times where they're going to need to score points. This is going to be an ultra low scoring game by any means. And I kind of like the low hanging fruit. Some of these bigger numbered guys I've had a tough read on this season. In fact, most of the time when I've been betting them, I've been looking at the over. And a similar guy as well, Jonnu Smith. I kind of like his over at 34.5. Can't get to the window on that one, but Demarcus Robinson actually is kind of intriguing. We talk about trying to get ahead of trends, get ahead of things, and not just jump in when a guy is, 7 for his last 8. I feel like if we saw a good performance last week, I think Robinson's going to get the ball once again quite a bit this week. And Raheem, I think he's going to be part of the receiving game. So I like that one too.
All right. That's all I have for this game. Not a whole lot. It's Monday Night Football. I know it was a rough. It was a terrible weekend for me. I'll be honest. So I want to make sure I don't force anything. And this is a game that just, I don't know, doesn't scream a lot of profits there. At least from my end. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to force anything. So I probably will not have any client plays on this one. I know that's boring, but sometimes it's what happens when there's only one game on the card, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, this is what I think Ross Benjamin's always saying, like if I wouldn't bet it on a Sunday, I shouldn't bet it on a Thursday or a Monday, and it makes sense. It really does make sense. We're doing the shows, we're locked in. Like there's reasons we can find. We could go right now and dissect Jalen Waddle. We could.
Yeah.
We could take a look at how maybe the numbers starts to grow for Tyreek Hill throughout the day. Maybe the rumors get even more confirmed. He's good to go. The numbers confirm, and we go under because of some of those guys with the shorter numbers, and they start getting the targets. But again, like you said, Andy, then we start forcing it. Then we start trying to find props and not kind of letting them find us and letting our research work for itself. And that's why there's only a handful. And people want us to come on here and give an opinion on every single guy. But what the problem is, and I'm going on a little bit of a rant here for you, but the problem is, people in the live chat or people in the post-production comments will say, I can't believe you guys gave out this. What a bad pick. Or I can't believe you guys gave out this, when ultimately we were just discussing and we were just ultimately going over things. I have an opinion on a handful of these guys, but I am with my own money betting on Demarcus Robinson over on his receiving yards. So that's the one I decided to bring up today.
There you go. All right. Tell everyone what you have up at WagerTalk.
Yeah, 7-2 NHL run. It's been quite low volume, but we had a nice winning weekend in the NHL. Decided to pass the really ugly slate on Sunday, so it was just Friday night and Saturday as far as the NHL is concerned. It's a team total going today on Monday, and it's a decent slate. And I have a season pass NHL 150 code. Take $150 off the NHL season package. But if you want to join me for just today only here on a pretty decent Monday slate, get one team to that magic number with their team total. Join me at wagertalk.com. What about yourself, Andy? What's going on this week?
Darts. We have darts plays today. We're still doing the darts package, only $49. We dropped some units on Saturday, gained some back on Sunday. But this is a pack for the rest of the year. And the biggest tournament starts in December. So this tournament is in round 3 right now. So there's going to be a few more days worth of plays just in this tournament. Then we have another tournament next weekend. Then the big one is in December. So it's only $49. Go ahead and grab that at WagerTalk. Other than that, I got a hockey play up for all access clients, and that's about it today. Kind of a quiet Monday. So nothing too exciting going on here. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for it. Hit the like button. Don't forget the code word is WAVE. Type that in the comments section. Lets us know we're doing a good job for you. So good luck on your plays. Don't force anything. If you're not feeling comfortable, don't force anything on a game you're not too comfortable with. So we'll see everyone later. Bye.